Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel that takes you deep inside the San Francisco 49ers. I am your host, Jack Hammer of the Santa Rosa Press Democrat here in Santa Clara, where the 49ers just wrapped up their first practice in preparation for the third week of the preseason. This is practice number 17 for the 49ers in this training camp. We're going to go through everything that happened. We'll get into the quarterbacks. We'll get into some of the defensive standouts today, some of the guys who made really nice plays on that side of the ball. We'll get into some of what stood out on the offense as well. So this is my instant reaction and takeaways to day 17 of 49ers training camp here at Santa Clara. Want to shout out my guy in the comment section, Lucas Pesci, member of the Toolbox. He says, "Hey, Jack, you were quick today." That's right. I got to get in and out. I got to get home. I'll do my write-up at home today. Just some things going on there that I need to tend to that needs me to get home a little bit quicker. So we're going to do the show here. Then I'll get on the road. I'll get the write-up done. So if you want to check out the write-up version of this later on, get over to 49ers.pressdemocrat.com. You can check that out. But we're going to get on it right now. We are going to take a look. Glad you're on board, Lucas. Glad we already got some people filling up in the room. Let's get this thing rolling. We also got the notorious Gav, Big Gav out of Wales. Says Jack Hammer all day. He's also a member of the Toolbox. Again, that's why they got the dollar signs next to their name. So let's get into it real quick. Brock Purdy, 16 to 20 today for Brock Purdy. He did have an interception. We'll get into that. It's a very similar interception to the one that we saw from Trey Lance on Saturday night. So we have that. Let's just go through. Let's go through Brock Purdy. We'll go through Sam Darnold. We'll go through Trey Lance. When you look at Brock Purdy's day, nice easy throw today to open up. A little screen out to Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell making his return to practice today. That was a good piece for the 49ers, getting Elijah Mitchell, the running back at practice today. First play of the day. First pass for Trey Lance, excuse me. Trey Lance, come on, Jack, pull it together. First pass of the day for Brock Purdy. A little screen out to the left side that Elijah Mitchell was able to make the catch on. A really nice play on that one, though, also by Fred Warner. We'll get to that in a few minutes as well. The next pass from Purdy came on the next set of downs. So they opened it up, just a one little throw. It's usually what they do. The first set of downs, they make one throw, the rest are runs. Then they come out in their second session, open that up with a nice run from Mitchell. And then you get a pass for about 5 yards. It was a play action from Purdy over the middle to Ross Dwelly. Dwelly run a little short in route from right to left, makes the catch, gets hit by Fred Warner relatively quickly. A little about 5-6 yard gain on that one. And then they get into not move the ball, but 1st and 10. They start they're working into basically what they do is they get into their and they don't like to do 7-on-7 very much. Kyle Shanahan much would rather have his quarterbacks having to work behind the offensive line than be able to do 7-on-7. So then they go into their passing period. And in their passing period, a really nice setup for Brock Purdy. He completed 6 of 7 over the course of 2 sessions. The only miss was a deep shot down the right sideline to Brandon Ayuk. It was the first play. Purdy hits his back foot, hitches up into the pocket, tries to launch it deep down the right sideline to Ayuk. Just a really bad throw. Just missed him by a mile. Didn't get it out in front of him, well behind him, out of bounds. Bad throw from Brock Purdy there. Came back on the next play, connects with Ronnie Bell, a little swing pass to the left side. It's kind of what the 49ers do. It's like a screen. They get the receiver in motion. It's almost like a sweep with a throw to get the ball out to him. That's the next throw from Purdy out to the left to Ronnie Bell. Then from there, you get a really nice throw from Purdy to the left side to Deebo Samuel. It's about a 10-yard out right along the sideline. Nice one. Ambry Thomas on the coverage. That was a nice ball, though, from Purdy. And then the next one was even better. He hits Tay Barton is running up the seam on the left side, vertical route up the seam. Purdy hits his back foot, lets it go down the middle of the field. Like I said, it's a seam up the left side. Really nice throw from Purdy to Tay Martin. That was a really nice one there, especially coming back from the first couple. So a nice downfield throw. Have a question here real quick. It says from CalBears 949 says, does it seem like Kyle Shanahan calls a different game for Purdy than Lance? Purdy got a bunch of short passes in the game Saturday while Lance got deep drops of snap. No, I don't think it's different. I think, you look at the plays that they called on Saturday. Those are nice, easy throws especially for a quarterback that's coming back from injury. I think that's the only reason why they set it up that way. But when you get into the practices and those types of things like what we see out here today, there's a lot more going down the field than what you saw in the game. I think the game plan on Saturday was Let's just give them a couple easy ones. Let's get in and get out. And I think that's the reason why it looked different. What you saw from Trey Lance early on in that game, you saw from Sam Darnold too, was very much the same thing. It wasn't until they got towards the end where they had to push the ball down the field where the ball started getting pushed down more. So I think that's the way it looked that way. Notorious Gav wants to know if I have any Jack Coletto plays today. There was one really nice kick out block for Coletto. I actually got a video that I'll be posting to YouTube probably tomorrow or the day after as well. Coletto running a route with a nice catch. It wasn't during team, but I figured you want to see that because I know you're a big fullback guy, Gav. So that'll be up on the channel in probably tomorrow. Check the shorts tomorrow. I might use that one. And then, so again, a nice ball up the seam to Tay Martin. Martin's one of those guys that's, in that battle now because you have you've lost Ray McLeod for the first 4 weeks. It looks like the Foreigners have lost Danny Gray for at least two weeks into the regular season. So they've got to figure out what they're going to do at receiver. A lot of Tay Martin today. Nice ball at the seam, and then you come back from that. The next session opens up with a short curl on the right side to Deebo Samuel. Drops back, scanning. Deebo runs a little curl to the right side. He's kind of the check down option. He scans, hits him right next to Fred Warner. Comes up and makes a tackle after a gain of about 7. The next one, I thought this was they come back and it's another screen. This time out to the left side, a screen to Christian McCaffrey. Nice job by Clellan Ferrell. Clellan Ferrell, that's how you say his name. I learned that today. It's not Clellan Ferrell, it's Clellan Ferrell. So if you want to make sure you say his name right, think of referral, but get rid of the re part. So it's Clellan Ferrell. That's how you actually pronounce his name. I was listening to the radio today. They made a note of that. So nice little screen out to McCaffrey, but you get a nice play by Ferrell to make the tackle at the line of scrimmage. Come back from that. The next throw was a curl out to the right side to Brandon Ayuk, and on that one they beat Charvarius Ward. So it was a nice gain there. This is all before you get to the move the ball stuff. Now you get into now they take a break. They go and they do the special team stuff. The quarterbacks work on the side field. They come back from that. You open up. They run a deep post, not a deep post, but a deep slant. Deep post is more of a go route, like a down the field throw. This one's about a 10, 15 yard, about a 15, 20 yard slant. So not a deep post, but more of a slant, deep slant. And Purdy overthrows Brandon Ayuk. The ball goes over Ayuk's head, hits 29, Talanoa Hufanga in the hands. Should have been an interception. Hufanga couldn't hold on. So they catch a break there. They're working on 2nd and 15. They're trying to pick up 2nd and 15 situations right now. So 2nd and 15, that's why they're pushing the ball down the field. They tried that one. Bad throw by Purdy to Ayuk high. Almost gets picked. 3rd and 15, Purdy drops back the pass. Nobody's open right away. He gets sacked by Javon Hargrave. They let the play continue to roll. Can't find anybody open, and he scrambles. But that would be a sack on Hargrave there. So from there, now this is where the bad one starts. Now it's 2nd and 15. He comes back to his second rotation. And Purdy draws back the pass, tries to throw a screen out to the left to Christian McCaffrey. It's a good play on 2nd and 15, pick up 5 or 6 yards, whatever, so you can get into a third and more manageable situation. Tries to get it, and it's a very similar situation to what we saw on Saturday night with Trey Lance. Draws back the pass. Not much separation between the running back and Drake Jackson. Jackson doing a good job of getting some depth there. Tries to get it over the top. Jackson gets up, tips it to himself. Pick 6 the other direction. Really nice play out of Drake Jackson. Another guy who made his return to the practice field today. Jackson had missed all last week. Really had missed a lot of time going back to the Las Vegas week, actually, now that I think about it. So Drake Jackson came out here. He had a really good day today, got the pick. Just a tough play for Purdy there, not much room, and that's now 2 interceptions on screens in the last couple of, count Saturday as a practice. The last 2 practices, an interception for Trey Lance on the screen, and now you have the interception for Brock Purdy on the screen. Come back from that, Kyle Shanahan says, all right, let's do another one. Start over again. So they go back to 2nd and 15 because they're trying to work a little bit more than just have that one out. Drops back to pass. He hits Deebo Samuel on an in route to the right side. Nice little ball. 2nd and 15, about 13-yard cut in. Boom. Nice completion there. And then it's 3rd and 2. They got trips to the left side, vertical routes with Deebo Samuel coming up underneath. Purdy hits him, first down. Nice conversion on that the third attempt. So the first time through didn't make it out because of the sack, and the bad throw on the first play. The second time through, you throw the interception right away. Now the third opportunity, they finally convert. And from that point on, after the interception by Drake Jackson, the next 8 throws are all completions for Brock Purdy. Like I said, you had the 13-yard in to Deebo Samuel, the underneath route to Deebo to pick up the first down. Then you move into the move the ball period. In that move the ball period, 1st and 10, you start at the 35. 2nd and 8 after a little run by McCaffrey. It's a short curl to the right side to McCaffrey again for a gain of 6. So that sets them up with 3rd and 2. On 3rd and 2, he goes back to Deebo Samuel on about a 15-yard gain. It was a nice one. Hit him at about 10 yards downfield, got about another 5, so plus 15 there for Brock Purdy. And then another really nice play comes up on 2nd and 8, and they decide to call it after this. 2nd and 8, they're on the defense's 40 now. They cross midfield. They're on the defensive side. And Purdy drops back to pass. He has a seam up the left side to Deebo Samuel and puts it on him. A really nice downfield throw to Deebo Samuel, working up the field, a vertical route, hits him in stride. A nice ball from Brock Purdy. Really good stuff there. They stop at that point, even though it would have been a first down. They stop there because they want a field goal. You get a 42-yard field goal. Splits the uprights from Jake Moody. He's been nails in practice. We just haven't seen it translate into the practice games yet, and we got to see that improve. So that's 3 of 3 on that first move the ball, move it down. Now the last move the ball series opens up with a run. Now you've got 2nd and 8 at your own 37, and they flip the field right here. Purdy drops back to pass off of play action. He has Deebo Samuel running a deep over route from left to right, puts it on him, beating the coverage of Deommodore Lenoir. He had to put it out in front of him because Lenoir's right on the hip of Deebo. Ball's right out here. Nice throw from Purdy to Samuel. Nice gain of 23. So 2 really nice balls, that seam shot and then that deep over route to Deebo Samuel on back-to-back throws for Brock Purdy. Facing 1st and 15 after a false start by the People's tight end, Ross Dwelly. You got 1st and 15. Comes back to pass. Purdy hits Juwan Jennings on a curl for about 6 yards. That leaves them with 2nd and 9. They have a little run by Ty Davis Price. They're left with 3rd and 5. On 3rd and 5, he drops back. Purdy does, and he hits Juwan Jennings on the left side for another gain, pick up a first down about 6 or 7 yards. So that's the day. 16 to 20 for Brock Purdy. I don't know why they didn't finish off the move the ball. I guess they just didn't want to work on the red zone stuff today. But a nice job moving the ball. You look at it, the interception was the pick, but other than that, it was a really good day for him. He had one ball that was a little high, like I said, that hit the hands of Talanoa Hufanga. But overall for Brock Purdy today, it was pretty solid. Papa Phil wants to know what was the longest pass Purdy made without Yak today. It would have been probably, it was either the 23-yard over route to Deebo Samuel. That was a gain of 23. It was about 20 yards down the field. The seam route might have been about 20 yards down the field too. I'm not sure exactly where it was because I was behind, so it's kind of hard to tell some of the distances there. Plus, they weren't giving them some of the full plays because they wanted the ball spotted in certain spots. So it was either the over route that was about 23, 24 yards downfield, or the seam route. He also had a nice seam route to Tay Martin. So he had a couple of nice downfield throws today for Brock Purdy. Now, as far as the other quarterbacks go, you had you had Trey Lance. Trey Lance on the day, 4 of 7 today throwing. Let's just go through his day real quick. Only 7 throws, so it's going to be a little bit faster than the Purdy one. That opening session, play action, rolls out to his right. Good pressure when he play action on the run to his left. So now he's rolling to his right. Pressure comes here, so he has to stop, and he throws it short to Chris Conley. Chris Conley catching at the line of scrimmage and gets tackled at the line of scrimmage. The next play doesn't come until later on in that first little series of plays before the special teams break. So this is in their their passing period, I guess you'd call it. And it's nice. He has a nice slant, a deep slant to Isaiah Winstead. It was a nice, a little bit of a deeper out. I put that on my notes. I put that was a dart because it was a nice downfield throw on the right off the cut. Boom, hit him. And then you get a little screen out to the left side to Chris Conley for another completion. The first incompletion of the day for Lance comes on the last play, drops back. He tries to hit Martin on a deep out to the right side. The ball's a little bit behind him, and Trey Swilling is there and able to knock the ball away for an incompletion. So those are the first 4 throws of the day for Trey Lance. Then you move on after the special teams break. He gets the first crack at the defense in that 2nd and 15 session. So 2nd and 15, draws back to pass, throws a quick little slant out to the right side to Ronnie Bell, picks up 9. So now he's got 3rd and 6. He has Willie Snead on the left side, puts the ball right on Snead, should be a first down. Snead drops it. So now they're stuck on 4th and 6. On 4th and 6, he throws a curl route to the right side to Ronnie Bell, and he misses him. He misses him, and I'm not sure if there was a miscommunication on the route, if Bell was supposed to keep coming across, or if Lance thought he was going to be curling in more, or what exactly it is. But the throw was a good 2 to 3 yards to Bell's right. So the left side, from where Lance threw it, it's to the left of the receiver. So that's the last throw of the day for Trey Lance. He didn't get a move the ball period. So in his little backed up 2nd and 15, completed the first throw. The next 2 were incomplete. So he was only 1 for 3 in that session. In terms of Sam Darnold today was 6 of 8. Darnold had a good day. He had some really nice balls. I probably should have. I think I might have got him a little fired up when I said that Trey Lance should have the backup job over him. I think that little bit of fire under Sam Darnold. He decided he was going to come out here and he was going to let it rip today. Except first play of the day, play action. He boots out to his left, tries to get the ball into the flat to Braden Willis. The ball's a little high, tips off of his hands. Is it nearly picked by the linebacker? But that wasn't his fault. He put it on him. It should have been a catch. Then in his throwing series, he had a really nice throw up the right seam to Elijah Mitchell. Mitchell out of the backfield, screaming up the seam. Nice ball, just a rope, just on a rope to Elijah Mitchell for a nice gain. Then talked about the difference between a deep post and a deep slant. Deep post means it's deep. He's running to the goalpost, and Darnold ripped it out there to him. They beat the coverage of Samuel Womack's so it was Tay Martin. Tay Martin beating Samuel Womack, and Sam Darnold putting it on him. So Sam beat Sam by getting the ball to Tay Martin. Deep post, biggest throw of the day. That was a nice completion. The last throw here in this little set, he drops back the pass. You get a sack between Alex Barrett and Marlon Davidson. The play continue on. He gets out of it, rolls to his left. Ronnie Bell starts working his way back along the left sideline. Darnold puts it on him for a nice completion along the sideline there. I count it as a completion. I'm mentioning the sack, but it's one of those plays because they let it go on. I want to. If it was a game, it wouldn't count. But because of the fact that they let it roll on, I just go ahead and I roll with it and I count it based off of what they how it ends. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. It would have been a sack on the play if it was a game. It's not a game. So I'm letting you know the sack would have been from Barrett or Davidson because they were both right there. They both had him. He escapes out to his left and makes a throw to Ronnie Bell. Nice ball, nice throw. Good job by Bell working his way back to the quarterback. Um, I see some people talking about Nick Bosa. I'll give you what I know in just a minute. Um, Now we get into after the special teams break. Darnold gets one session of that 2nd and 15. Move the ball, get some pressure, moves out to his right. This was another really nice play. So some pressure from Darnold, slides out to his right, and he goes down the field to Willie Snead for a nice completion, about 15 to 20 yards, picks up the first down, probably more like 20 yards because they brought it back to run it again. They told him to spot the ball at 3rd and 8, even though it wasn't a 7-yard completion. It was a really nice, there was some pressure around him. Does a nice job of getting out. Really nice throw from Sam Darnold to Willie Snead. And then on 3rd and 8, they try to run a quick slant out to the right side to Isaiah Winstead. Bad throw, incompletion, and that's the end of it. Darnold also did get a chance and move the ball at the end of practice. Opened it up. It looked like Brock Purdy in the game on Saturday night. Play action to the right, rolling out to his left, gets the ball out quick to the receiver. Once again, Tay Martin. Martin turns the ball up the field, and they mark him down after a gain of 12. And then they run that again. 14 to 86, boot out to the left. That time the defense was a little bit more ready for it, and they stopped them after a gain of just 5. So for Sam Darnold, you get the completion, play action, easy throw to 86. A couple nice runs for Jordan Mason, and then you get another short throw from Darnold to 86. So, and that's the quarterback's day. Again, in terms of the numbers, Brock Purdy today, 16 to 20, an interception on a screen, 2 really good move the ball periods at the end of practice. Trey Lance, 4 of 7, started off hot, kind of struggled a little bit at the end. He didn't really get very many throws, so to say he struggled, that's maybe probably an overstatement on my part. And then Sam Darnold today, 6 of 8 with a drop, should have been 7 of 8, and he also had a sack. So, you want to take the one out for the sack or whatever, he would have been 5 of 7, but still a good day there for Sam Darnold today. In terms of some other guys that stood out, really quick, I hear the talk on the Bosa thing. One of the aggregators out there that post stuff mentioning that there's some trouble in paradise between the 49ers and Nick Bosa. We don't have any updates to report. They don't talk to us about it. This has all been kept between the 49ers and Nick Bosa. I find it hard to believe that this person who put that out really knows anything of what's going on. And the reason I say it is because we have heard nothing from Nick Bosa throughout this process, and I doubt that we're going to hear anything from it. And this person that put it out, I think, is trying to do the best that they can just to generate something, because slow news day. Let's talk about Nick Bosa not wanting to sign or re-sign with the 49ers. And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't know more about it at this point, unless I hear something from the 49ers or something that's more of a credible source than ML football. I'm not going to. There's not a whole lot else to say there. Here's the thing, and I get where you're going for this, Gav. Without Bosa, we don't have a D line. Nick Bosa is the best defensive player in the league, right? That's why he was the defensive player of the year last year. But I'll say when it comes to Nick Bosa, 49ers found success in 2020 on defense when Bosa was out almost the entire season. Clelin Ferrell is going to have a good season, I think, for the 49ers. Drake Jackson is a little bit more of a wild card. He's more athletic. He's a really athletic player, but I just haven't seen him really make it work right now yet as a pass rusher. But we'll see how that works. But I disagree with this to an extent. I do think they have a decent line without him. Obviously, Nick Bosa is the player of the year last year on the defense side of the ball. You want to get him back. I think they understand that, but I also think that they know they have a pretty good unit around them. I think they'll be okay. They're not going to be as good as if they had Bosa, obviously. So, take that for what it's worth. In terms of some of the other guys that stood out that weren't quarterbacks today, Tayshaun Gibson, mentioned him really briefly. Tayshaun Gibson had a really nice tackle on a screen early on to Elijah Mitchell, dropping him at the line of scrimmage. Did a good job reading it, fired his gun, got him there. That was a really, really nice play there. And I agree with you. Yeah, no, Armstead can't be moved outside. He needs to stay inside. That's where he's best. Um, Fred Warner. Fred Warner is just a monster out here. He's so fast. The dude just runs like crazy. Um, and to I don't. Last week I think all three practices I talked about how they opened up with or Warner got a stop on an outside run on all three of them. Right today, it was on a outside run by Deebo Samuel, run from right to left, runs him down for a tackle line of scrimmage. Later on, toss to the right side with Christian McCaffrey, and guess what happens? 54 meets him at the line of scrimmage again. The dude he flies around, and there's a reason why he's an All-Pro linebacker, and it shows on the field out here, chasing down guys like Deebo and Christian McCaffrey, and he's just so fast. Eric Armstead, right? Yeah, Gav said, we don't want to have Armstead play on the edge. I agree with that. He was inside today. He had a couple of nice tackles around the line of scrimmage. I had 2 times where he made tackles at the line of scrimmage on Christian McCaffrey for Eric Armstead today. That was nice. Drake Jackson makes his return after an extended period of time out due to some injuries with his I think it was his hamstring. Comes back today, gets that pick. Didn't really see much of him on the pass rush today, but that was a really nice play out of Drake. Javon Hargrave, another defensive tackle, gets upfield, gets a nice sack on Brock Purdy on a 2nd and 15 situation, I think it was. So nice play by Javon Hargrave. The play of one of the plays of the day came from Kalia Davis. Now Kalia Davis, 2nd-year defensive tackle, 7th round draft pick of the 49ers last year, didn't play at all because of a knee injury he suffered at UCF. Today, he returned after an extended absence. A lot of guys coming back today for the 49ers. He's one of them, lined up on the inside, working with that 2nd interior defensive unit. Ty Davis Price gets a run up the middle to the right side between the center and the guard on the right side, and looks like he might break it through, except for Kalia Davis basically just says, nope, you're not going anywhere, gets a shoulder on him and just flattens him right on his back. Just it was like he ran into a wall. Kalia Davis, he's not a big guy. Kalia Davis is like a little bit smaller version of the guy that they lost to the Denver Broncos last year, and I'm blanking on his name. You know who I'm talking about anyway. He's a really good interior defensive tackle. I like the size. I like the athleticism out of him, and he made a really nice play today on Ty Davis Price. DJ Jones, thank you, Baller, my guy, Baylor Baller. He picked me up. Thank you. Need that one. Texas Niner, he came in and you guys picked me up on that one. That's right. DJ Jones, that's what Kalia Davis looked like. And then today, the hit that he laid on Ty Davis Price, let's just say it caught everybody's attention. It was a nice play. Then let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, so that's the defensive guys. A lot of defensive linemen stood out today. Helen Hufanga, he didn't make the list for his interception, but he should have. Trey Swilling, also with that nice pass breakup on the throw. So got to give some love to Trey Swilling and also to Helen Hufanga. Hufanga with the pass breakup on the throw from Purdy, and Trey Swilling with the pass breakup on that out route from Trey Lance. So there's your shout outs on the defensive side. Over on the offensive side, you've got Elijah Mitchell making his return. I thought he looked sharp. He looks just like the guy that Elijah Mitchell. And if he can stay healthy, he's a hell of a running back. He's big, he's fast, he's always working downhill. He has good body lean. He's a really good running back. He cuts. Everything that he does is working upfield, and he looked really good today with some sharp cuts. Like I said, that really nice catch up the seam from Sam Darnold. So a really nice day for him. Tay Martin, you heard me bring up his name quite a bit today. He was targeted 5 times on the day. He had 4 catches. He had that deep post from Sam Darnold for I guess you could call it a touchdown, but I don't know if he made it to the end zone, but it was a long one. And then he had that really nice catch up the seam from Brock Purdy, and then he had a couple of other shorter throws. So a really nice day today for Tay Martin. Again, the Friars need these receivers to step up. Martin's one of those guys that's on the fringe of making this roster, whether it's going to be Martin or Chris Conley. I think Ronnie Bell's going to make it because he was a draft pick. So that was good. I think the offensive line too. Spent a lot of time looking, really paying attention to the offensive line. From my vantage point, was behind the team, so I could watch that old line today. The pass protection was solid over and over again. The quarterbacks had a nice pocket to step up into and deliver the ball. So really good stuff out of them. I pretty much mentioned the times where they got beat. I think there wasn't very many. They did a really good job there. Uh, and then I got to mention Deebo Samuel too. I talked about his run early on that got stopped by Fred Warner for no gain. But Deebo Samuel, the receiver, he's had a steady training camp. That's the thing is Brandon Ayuk's gotten all the publicity because he's been getting the big numbers. Deebo Samuel doesn't usually get as many targets, but he's been pretty good. Today he had 5 targets, got 5 catches on those. 2 of those were big shots. The deep over route that I put down is about a 23-yard gain from Brock Purdy, and then a seam route as well from Brock Purdy. A couple of downfield throws, and that's what you'd like to see. Deebo Samuel, we all know of Deebo Samuel as the yak guy, right? The guy that's going to catch the ball and he's going to run through defenses. But if you can start getting him the ball down the field, that when Deebo's at his best, when you're working him down the field, and then you have him get the screen. Not when, like last year, where everything was screen. That doesn't really work. You got to get him at that second level, push the ball down the field to Deebo. When you do that, that's when he's at his best. We're seeing more of that this year. We saw that today on that deep over route, the seam route. Really good stuff. And that's the other thing, too. We've seen the 49ers working the seams of the defense a lot more. I really like that. It's reminiscent to me of when Kyle Shanahan's dad, Mike Shanahan, was the offensive coordinator here in the early 90s, especially 92, 93. Like 92, 93, 94 is when he was here, but especially 94, the Super Bowl season. One of the things that they did really well with Ricky Watters was get him working up the seams. And so that's what that throw today from Darnold to Elijah Mitchell reminds me of Steve Young hitting Ricky Watters up the seam, like in the Super Bowl, that type of thing. And that wasn't just a Super Bowl. There were a number of games. I remember a game that season where they played the Denver Broncos late in the year at Candlestick, and I think they hit Watters down the middle twice for touchdowns. So, I kind of got off on a tangent on other things, but again, going back to Deebo Samuel, that's where I started this rant from, was get the ball to Deebo down the field. That's where he's at his best. Get him down the field and then work him on those underneath those other routes that you like to get him the ball to. And then I'm going to just, last but not least, I'm going to say that the overall offense, they moved the ball well today. You heard me when I was talking about Brock Purdy. Both of his sessions and moved the ball. They worked down the field. He was really good, 6 of 6 in that session. They ran the ball They ran the ball okay, more towards the edges, working the edges of the offense than inside with today in that move the ball. And then also with Sam Darnold, they had a nice session, and with Darnold and Jordan Mason, they were able to get the ball up inside a little bit. So good stuff there. Jesus wants to know if Ricky Watters is a Hall of Famer. I don't know about a Hall of Famer. I don't know. Ricky Watters was a good running back, but as far as a Hall of Famer, I don't think he makes it to the Hall of Fame. But he was a hell of a back for the 49ers. He was really good when he was out in Philly as well. But man, it would have been so nice if they could have stayed. Why did they cut LeBourne? Your guess is as good as mine. I think he wasn't getting very many carries, and I think the writing was on the wall that he wasn't going to make the roster. Cut him, let him go, let him maybe see if he can find another spot, because remember they had signed him as an undrafted free agent. Give him another shot to hook on with another team. And quite frankly, the guy they brought in, Jeremy McNichols, he looked better in camp anyway. When he ran, Jeremy McNichols, a guy who was a guy that bounced around the NFL, showed more in training camp, I thought, than Kalen LeBourne. Timmy he is demanding a kicker update. Timmy, kicker update, here you go. He had one kick today, 43 yards. Jake Moody splitting the uprights. It's up. It's good. Anyway, that was on one of the move the ball periods. They stopped and they kicked the field goal from Jake Moody. So, again, really good day, I felt, overall for the team. Offense looked good. The defense had some guys that stood out at times. When you get that starting defense on the field, it's going to be a lot better than what we saw the other night. I know some of those starters were out there, but it also wasn't a game plan, and that's part of the reason why Russell Wilson was able to make some plays on them in terms of scrambles and those types of things. They'll game plan for that stuff when you get to a regular season game, but we're not there right now. So no game planning on. I think that helped Russell Wilson out a little bit. So That's it. That's the show. I just took you inside 49ers practice. This is Inside the 49ers with Jack Hammer. I want to say thanks to everybody for taking the time to tune in. If you can do me a favor before you leave, hit the like button for me. Once you're getting done hitting the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this, you're already a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button as well. And once you do that, turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the updates right here on Inside the 49ers with Jack Hammer. Thanks again to everybody for taking the time to tune in. Appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with day 18 from 49ers training camp. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. We'll talk with you soon.